Okay, thank you so much for joining us at the Firenze office today, Mr. Francesco Alinovi. You've been teaching at NABA for almost 27 years now.
Yes, yes,
You've been
that's true.
teaching game design and creative technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell us a bit about what you actually teach, like what goes on in the classroom?
Okay, I studied in NABA working as in the first laboratory in Italy for game design, and then it expanded. I mean, we moved from media design to creative technologies and created a path on game design. I'm starting from the beginning, so introducing students to NABA because I'm in counseling, interviews and stuff, and I bring them to the end of the process by helping them graduate. So I'm even doing a synthesis workshop at the end for graduation projects. And I start with digital culture, that is about the digital age we live in for first year students. And then the second year I work on interaction techniques for media designers and game design for game designers, okay? And that's what I'm teaching. Everything is connected to the evolution of the digital technologies and how they impact our everyday life. And obviously my focus is on game design, since I'm a game designer as well, but I really love everything that is connected to creating something new and exciting.
That's very exciting. Thank you so much. If you were a student today, why would you prefer to study at NABA?
Okay.
Or would you? Let's start with.
I mean, one thing is that I think that Milan is the most exciting city in Italy. So, and NABA is one of the most vibrant part of Milan because it's near the canal. It's a very nice campus. So actually that's one thing that excels. And there are a lot of foreign students. So more than 40% of students are coming from different regions of Europe and the rest of the world. And I think that the different courses are very interesting in their own way. So it's about design, but in a broader sense, because you can study from comics to games to fashion to everything that is connected to, you know, creative fields. So I think that is the most interesting thing because it's all in the same campus. So everyone can exchange opinion, and you see a lot of different people coming there because fashion students are completely different from 3D artists. You can recognize them by the way that dress, walk, or stand in the campus waiting for a lecture to start.
And I guess collaboration also happens in campus between these departments.
Definitely. There are many projects that involve different schools. For example, many fashion students are for movie directors for showing their collection, or they collaborate with set designer to creating sets for movies. And there's a lot of interdisciplinary fields and stuff going on. I mean, that's why it's very exciting being there, because you have students from different fields that can work together on several different projects.
And it's definitely exciting for students, but to you as a professor, do you also enjoy working and teaching at NABA?
It's a little bit of a mess because there are so many projects and so many different schools, so it's always difficult to understand who is the owner of the idea you're working on, and you know, always making different people from different schools working together is always a matter of managing people with different kind of free time or resources or whatever, but it's very exciting because NABA is well regarded by outer companies that come to NABA students and ask for projects on different fields. So I mean, it's always exciting work on that kind of stuff.
And NABA is very well known for its partnerships with the sector. So do you think that also helps in students finding careers or going into entrepreneurship when they graduate?
Definitely. I mean, one of the most important things that you don't have to underestimate when you are entering a university is the platform of relationship that it will grant you in the end. So it's not about just learning, but it's about meeting the right people and make connection with the people. Students in your class, that can be your first teammates, or as well your professor, that can be your first employer. I mean,
coming to Magari.
Yes, for example, that can be a choice. Not one that I will suggest, but you know, that's an option if you're a game designer or a 3D artist.
Magari is your company in collaboration with NABA, right?
Well, yes, with former students. Actually, I had so many good students, I don't want them to leave Milan or move to another place, so we decided to build up our own company. And you know, it's a hard work because since everyone is young, every time is learning from scratch is how to become a professional. But it's very exciting because I see many people learning how to become a professional in the end and learning to do some job. Then they leave eventually, but I know it's a very interesting experiment. And
it must be very exciting for your students to turn into your workers, like your co-workers and team members.
Yeah, and it's the most difficult thing because one thing is studying and working on your own project, and another thing is working for a deadline. Okay, that is not, well, I can do that the next month, okay? I can skip that exam session and study for the next one because you have to deliver, and it's difficult to learn that attitude. That this is why my company exists, to prepare for that attitude that is required for working on companies and do the hard stuff.
Yeah, it's very interesting indeed. And what do you think about the future of the game industry or the creative technologies industry in general in regards to AI?
Okay, I think that AI is, first of all, a tool. Mm-hmm. And if we use that as a tool to explore our own creativity, it's a good thing. I remember when Photoshop first came out, that everyone was scared about, drawing is not required anymore, and everyone can take photos, yes, but if you don't have anything to say, artificial intelligence will create something that is not interesting. But if you use that as a tool for enhance the skill that you already have, that can be very profitable. The point is that you cannot ask artificial intelligence to do the work for you. That's the biggest problem because even big companies now rely on artificial intelligence to solve the problem of having real creatives do the work, and unfortunately it shows. So that's the biggest problem. But as a tool, it really enhances what a creative person can do with their own means before entering the design phase. But it helps, having a lot of ideas, testing them, and see how they would perform. But, it's a tool. It's based on probability. And the trick is that we are not very good as human beings in understanding probability. So this is why artificial intelligence tricks us. But, it's not intelligence. Human having intention, that is the most important thing. Because when you are a creative, it's not about doing creative stuff. It's about the desire to do that kind of thing. And right now, machine doesn't have that desire. And everything is built from an urgency that you have. And be a creative means having that urgency every day and trying to solve problems in the world that you see through your designs. So that's the point. I don't think, probably artificial intelligence would evolve to the point that they have their own urgencies and they will quit human existence. But I hope that is something to happen in the farthest future. So
I hope so as well.
No, let's get back to design instead of thinking about.
So coming back to design, back to human intentions and creativity. Do you think creativity is something that you're born with, or do you think you can actually teach someone to be creative?
No, it's something that you should cultivate. That is different. It's something that you need to harvest. You can have a talent for creativity, but one thing is knowing how and practice, and always the more you practice, the better you become. But another thing is why you're doing stuff. And I think that academies like NABA exist for that purpose. That is telling you why you're doing something instead of just how, okay? Because right now with the internet, you can learn to do anything just by looking at videos and improve with all the tools that we have seen, from artificial intelligence to all the software that are free to use. But the point is that since creativity rises from an urgency, you have to understand why you are feeling that way and how to make that, impulse into something that really makes sense for others to use. Because design is making the process of interact with the world better, improving that process of decision making in a way, okay? Well-designed object is the one that you know how to use before reading the instruction. It's not just interesting to look at, but it's functional. And that's the point of design. Understanding why you are creating that, not how to create that. And that is something that is very difficult to teach students when they arrive, because they want to learn how and forget why they are doing so. But I think that's mandatory for. And
coming to more fun questions.
Yes.
What do you think is one major stereotype or misconception that people outside of the game design industry or creative technology industry in general have about people in the industry?
the point is that since games are supposed to be fun, many people think that they are easy to produce, but it's not. Game design is the most difficult creative field, and video games is, probably at the peak of that difficulty curve, because you have character design, you have storytelling, you have code to write, it should work, and it's not taken for granted, and it should be fun in the end. So it's all about the design fields together in something that is made digital, and the problem is that it's always a matter of overscoping, or try to create something that is more than you can really manage in the end. So this is why it's so difficult creating games that works. It's not difficult to create games, but games that are fun and works and are fun to play, yes. It's a huge task. In many branches of design, you start as a final user. So you can appreciate the way that something is created, but being on the other side is a completely different matter of things. It's more about planning and Excel documents rather than drawing and having ideas. I mean, that's the problem with design, something that we really want our students to understand. It's not the ideas, because it's obvious that you need to have many of them, but it's how you implement them, how you reach a final product, how your vision transforms into a product in the end that is, and becomes something that someone else can try and experiment.
And I guess the difference is more night and day when it comes to board games versus video games, right?
Yes, it's completely different. I mean, software is a license that you sell. So it's about creating, with the tools that you have, an experience that everyone can access, because there are a lot of platforms you can access video games. But it's a much more difficult market because there are so many games coming out. I mean, it's like 20 new games each day on Steam, so it's huge. On the other hand, board game design is about creating a product. It's not just about having an idea, but it's about the pieces that you want to create, the materials like paper, plastic, or whatever, and the expense from creating that game. So it's more a matter of optimizing design in order to have the best product with the lowest resources. So there's more design involved, okay?
Thank you.
Less code and more design.
And now coming to a more personal question.
Yes.
What is your favorite lore?
Okay. One thing that I say to everyone that asks me that question, my favorite game, I would say, is Nier Automata. It's a Japanese game that has, it's an action game, actually was published in 2017. And it's famous for fan service, that is the graphic design of its character, but I think it's one of the most philosophical game ever created, because it's about statement about what it means to be a human creature from an artificial intelligence point of view. So this is why it's very interesting. It's an exciting game because it's an action game. It has one of the best combat system ever, but at the same time has a very deep lore to investigate, and it's worth every penny. So, and every minute of play. I think that's
Thank you so much for your answers.
Okay.
And now, lastly, but we don't want you to answer right away. We just want you to think about it. What is your favorite character ever designed? Think about that, and we'll come back to it shortly.
Okay, thank you. Yes, surprise me.
Steve from Minecraft
Okay.
versus, let's start with Pot of Greed.
Okay, so this one is better. Definitely, as an object, this one is, it's Minecraft. It's too popular to become to be interesting, but it's well done.
Pot of Greed versus Doraemon.
Doraemon. That's a difficult choice, because this one has a great design. I'll go with Doraemon. Sorry for the pod, because it's incredible, but
Doraemon versus Casper.
It's an hard choice, but Doraemon stands on its podium because it's more iconic, I think.
Doraemon versus Mario.
This is an hard choice because Mario matters most to me than Doraemon, so I'm sorry to salute you, my friend, but and look at the pose.
A character designed to show speed. Sonic.
No,
versus Mario.
there's no. That's an easy fight and conflict, so Sonic can go away. Sorry, dude.
Mario versus Kuribo.
This one is
Kuribo from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Not my taste, but okay, that's interesting. But Mario is more iconic. It's red and blue, okay, and it has mustaches. So
Mario versus Creeper.
the point is that Mario came out too early, probably, in this challenge, and okay, that's fine, Minecraft, but okay, the Super Mario movie anyway is better than the Minecraft one, so let's say bye. And Mario stands still on his own position.
Okay, another banger. Mario versus Pikachu.
Okay, that's another hard choice. I really love the design of Pikachu. It's very iconic, and it's yellow. That is one of my favorite colors. But as it stands, I'm more of a Mario fan rather than Pikachu. Probably with Luigi or Todd, the choice would be different, or Yoshi even, but Pikachu says bye to you as well. Pikachu out.
Mario versus Grogu.
That is Baby Yoda. That's another choice, because in terms of design, it has the same kid-like elements. Okay, this is a kid supposed to be, but Mario wins again. You know, one funny thing about Mario is that, you know, a little baby pretending to be a plumber rather than an adult, you know, with that size and design. So, see why it would be.
Mario versus
impressive.
Totoro.
Oh, that's another choice, because they are relevant for separate in different ways. I love Shigeru Miyamoto. He's one of the best designers, but probably Totoro movies are right now more suited for my current family, so let's stay with Totoro and bye-bye Mario.
Totoro versus Gomamon from
Okay,
Digimon.
Okay, no, okay. Fine, but not my field
Not
of
your
interest.
cup of tea.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Totoro versus the Knights.
That's another hard one, but one thing is that Totoro is easier, because you just have to watch the movie instead of playing an impossible game. So, I mean, I swear too much playing the first hours of that game. It's not my cup of tea as well, but you know, that's impressive. And it's a great design made from an indie team, so incredible, but Totoro stays.
Totoro versus Sackboy.
Oh, there are so many. Sackboy is a vessel, so it lacks some personality. It's a great example of design for games. I really love Media Molecule, but you know, Totoro stays, and it's a more iconic, even if it's relevant for Sony. But
Totoro versus Charizard.
that's another Pokemon. But no, I'm so sorry. It was so adult when Pokemon rise to, you know. So it's more like I stay with the gray one. So bye-bye Charizard. And it's not finished yet.
No.
Not many
It's
left.
like Doraemon bag. He always have a surprise coming out from the bag.
Totoro versus Skipper from Madagascar.
Okay, they cannot even compete. I mean, that's great. It's funny, but it's, you know. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the show.
Okay, this one might be a bit hard. Totoro versus Sans.
Okay. So here the problem is always the final user experience, and it's difficult to choose from. I really love the design and implementation, but Totoro stays. I mean, I have young daughters, they are into Miyazaki movies, so this is one of the things that I'm witnessing most when I'm in front of the TV. And Totoro stays, even if we love Undertale, so sorry.
Totoro versus Hello Kitty.
Okay. That's a hard guess, because that's the other character we are into right now, but I think that Totoro is more meaningful, because it's, you know, it can be everything, while Hello Kitty is already everything and is on everything. So that's one great, but Totoro stays. It was like Super Mario. Who knows who will come next?
Closing to an end. Chicken Jockey.
That's impressive as a sculpture, but It's coming from Minecraft, I mean, so let's say good, it's like Lego bricks, but digital, and but this one is really impressive. The dynamics, the pose and everything, but Totoro stays.
Totoro versus Goomba.
That's an hard choice, because Goomba means a lot. It's the first enemy and the first obstacle that you encounter in Super Mario games, and it's way smaller. No, but I mean, it's so difficult to say no to Totoro. That's the problem. It's such an easy win that, you know, it's difficult to go and choose, but...
Totoro versus No Face or Kaonashi.
There's always Miyazaki, but it's... No, I mean, it's so difficult to choose something different instead, so we are going to stay with Totoro. Anyway, but I really appreciate the look of it, the detail.
Hardest question. Totoro or Umarel?
I mean, I'm more in the age of the Umarel, so that will be my next pose, I suppose. So let's stick with it, and bye-bye, Totoro. You were a good friend during my creativity years, but probably I will go ahead.
And final question.
Forsi.
Umarel or Umarel in NABA green?
No way, no. That's way more exciting. I mean, it stands out, so let's go with the green Umarel instead of the white one.
So
if you want to stand out, you need to exhibit, to show it, and that's great. So it wins in the end. The slime edition of the Umarel is the first one, and I think it best represents me. So it's some sort of award of being here, and it's great that it reached Istanbul as well. So
Thank you.
that's a very great surprise. I enjoyed that. No, it was really fun. The Umarel.
Thank you.
A lot of friends have the Umarel next to their desk to remember that their final destination. But I know you have a lot of buildings in construction, so I suppose there are Umarel even here in Istanbul.
yeah.
Lots of Umarels here.
Everyone giving advice on how build stuff and things because they already done that. Wait.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Francesco.
You're welcome.
And now we have the undisputed champion of NABA Green, Umarel, standing with you in
Yeah.
the spotlight. Do you have anything to say to students in Turkey that want to go study in NABA?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for them?
Sure. If you manage to come to Milan and study at NABA, please refer to Firenze. They will help you with everything needed to get there. They will make your life easier to reach NABA and become a NABA student and have a new life and experience in Milan. So welcome, and thank Firenze for hosting me today and having the chance to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.